Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another video for Middling Mondays today, and thank God, the absolute plague of chaos has finally ended. I must admit, guys, I'm going to have to put an embargo on chaos replays at this point. If you're playing chaos, please don't send me a replay. It's no hate against you, no hate against chaos players, though your race is kind of boring. I've got like 9 replays with chaos in them, and all of the previous replays, I swear, over half of them have been chaos. There's just too much. I need to diversify for the view base. You know, for the wider YouTube viewers, they need something that isn't chaos. Let me tell you, today, we have not got chaos. We've got Ordo Malleus. I'm actually pretty keen to watch this. It's really cool to see how these new heroes that Elite Mod has actually added are actually being played by not just the top 5% of players, but new players, intermediate players. So we've got SgtSmith piloting the Aversa Assassin today, and we've got Fufu rocking the Commando Knob, going with a slightly unconventional build, double sluggers. I don't hate it. I actually think out of all the Orc heroes, the Commando Knob rocks the double sluggers best. And this is a great opening for him. Probably going to bleed an IST model straight away. He seems to be shooting the wrong one. This guy's the vulnerable one. Is he going to get that model? He's not going to try it. Probably could have got it if he forced melee. It's nice, just a little bit of bleed, but it doesn't matter. This is a big map. Pretty awkward to play a Grey Knight heavy army for your Ordo Malleus on this map because they're just so slow. So it's probably a good thing to be the Aversa Assassin on this map. He is a good pick for this map, at least out of all of your options that you have. So we'll see how it goes for him. Now, double sluggers, it's pretty nice because it lets you get down all of these gens early on, and this is a big map, so we actually see both players are doing the same thing. I wonder if they're familiar with this map. They're getting very little tier 1 initial units and just dropping more gens, and I like that because it is hard to get the bash on this map. It's such a big map. You know, if the enemy commits to bashing one side, you just drop gens on the other, and generally you can out-tick the opponent. Transports are going to be pivotal in tier 2 because of the size of the map. Utilising the speed of the transports is going to be mega beneficial. So a little bit of skirmishing so far. We're not going to see any crazy engagements because both players are, well, they don't have huge armies. However, Fufu has done a really nice job here of, he's actually gone for double burner sluggers right off the bat. So, that's upgrading all of his tier 1 forces that he has so far by the hero. And it's going to pay off for him because he's going to get the bash here. So he's took out 2 gens. Doesn't look like he's going to get the Aversa. Ooh, he's missing this gen. He needs to take this out with the Commando. Strike squad of... Oh, looks like the IST are wiped. Yep. Unlucky retreat path there. They retreated a little bit too soon. They should have ran a little bit further up, but of course that would have been relatively risky. Now the strike squad are in a very dangerous position. If they don't proc specials, they're screwed. Yeah, they need to get the hell out of there. Probably going to bleed a model. Nice stun bomb on the ops. Yeah, this is an awful engagement for SgtSmith. Drops 2 strike squad models, has his IST get wiped, and loses 2 gens and a node against double sluggers. Wow, this is cost effective for Fufu. How the hell is this game even going to last? That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But Purgation are coming out. That makes sense. They do come out after the operatives. Purgation obviously are a good anti-melee option for the Ordo Malleus, but you like the operatives because they're the detector, so they're going to detect the Commando Knob. And remember that he can obviously use the hide the boys, so you can infiltrate the slugger boys. So if you don't have the operatives nearby, Purgation can find themselves jumped very easily, so it's quite risky. We do actually see the Chem Cloud grenades coming out on the Aversa Assassin. I really like this war gear. I think it's extremely underrated. I think it's slowly catching on, at least at the higher scene, but yeah, I don't see a lot of new players using this very often, but they should. It's really good. Nice use of the hypermetabolism global here as well, giving that Aversa Assassin a little bit more energy regen and HP regen, and he actually kills the Commando Knob from it. I think he was worried that he was going to die, but that wasn't the case. In fact, the Commando Knob dies. However, Fufu has the advantage. Now, the sluggers are kind of pushed back at this point because they don't want to engage the Purgation. They're just going to get slowed down, snared and hurt. But the problem is that Fufu's already going tier 2 and SgtSmith is no longer able to get this bash. He really could do with getting this bash to stall out Fufu's tech, but he isn't going to get it. Back to the Chem Cloud nades. These things are a melee superiority option, so he drops them on the sluggers, their damage gets reduced by half, and then you can combine that with Psychon, and this guy just takes no damage at all from the sluggers. If hypermetabolism is on cooldown, he probably wants to use it here, and he'll do very, very well. And you can see the Aversa Assassin is just abusing these Slugger boys. And now he's on the correct situation to tie up the looters as well. Absolutely fantastic situation here for the Aversa Assassin, and some nice use of him as well. Good stun bomb though. Well, not that good actually, only stun one model. Kind of misplaced. I was wondering how we managed to miss that, given that the whole blob was suppressed, but there you go. So, SgtSmith is actually going to get the bash off, which is nice, but obviously he is massively behind in tech right now. I'm very worried about the potential of a Death Dread and what that can do. I mean, even just a War Truck, combined with a couple of Slugger Knobs, is going to be very difficult to handle. Purgation do a lot of nice damage to the boys, who, you know, they don't have a lot of HP per model. But once the knob comes out, Purgation don't really do a whole lot. Aversa Assassin gets kind of blown up point blank by the looters, actually knocks over the looters. They are going to get smoked, so that's going to reduce their range massively, and now they can be shot to pieces by the Order Malleus range troops. Slugger boys unfortunately were in range stance there, so they end up taking too long to get to melee. Oh my god, the looters are going to wipe. And the looters wipe. What a game of throws this is, but the Death Dread is coming out now. Okay, so that's good. And he's kept what he really needs. Honestly, I find the looters a little bit of an unusual choice. I think Storm Boys would have been way better for Fufu there. They would just, you know, give you mobility that's really nice on this map. There's a lot of like areas that you jump over, like jumping onto the VP here, being here, jumping over to here, being here, jumping over to here. There's a lot of reasons to want a jumping or teleporting hero on this map. And jumping units as well. So yeah, I think Storm Boys would have been better. The operatives have been used really well actually to counter the looters. It's been a long time since I've seen operatives used as a setup team counter. That was after all what they were introduced to the Elite mod for. So it's nice to see that. It's nice to see it. Now a lot of gens has been dropped by SgtSmith, perhaps too many. He's now got 4 gens and he's nearly got the power to go tier 2, but he's absolutely nowhere near got the requisition. So I would suggest this is too many gens. Particularly because the Death Dread is now on the field and it already has burners and bits. So this is just going to find the farms and burn them down. There's not really going to be much SgtSmith can do. SgtSmith has the VPs, and if you've got the VPs, that means you've got time. But he's just so far off being able to field a proper AV counter. I mean, you can get the conversion beamer cheap in terms of power in tier 2. It's only requisition, so that's good. But it's immobile. Very mobile, and on this map against double sluggers with hide the boys and all that kind of thing, running a mobile setup teams is not really ideal. Purgation needs to get the hell out of there at this point. I don't actually know what the Death Dread's doing. Why is it going after the Aversa Assassin? It should definitely just be burning down the gen farms. That should be its priority. This is pretty bad. Operatives really caught out of position here. Swamp and Muse to increase the speed of the Slugger boys and make sure those operatives don't get out of there. The operatives need to retreat. If the Sluggers get one good special right now, the operatives are fucked. So they're going to drop 2 models. Energy Burst comes in from the Strike Squad to try and slow down the Sluggers. It works, but I don't think the Strike Squad want this fight. Not with the Commando Knob nearby to support them. I mean, Specials could decide it, but the problem is none of the damage is going onto this Slugger Knob, and he just does such huge damage. That was a really ill-advised fight. Yeah, you should not be... Yeah, big F in the chat for that one. Losing his upgraded Strike Squad is not ideal when you're trying to deal with double Sluggers. Now he doesn't really have anything that can stand up to them in melee. You don't really want to be taking the fight with Strike Squad against upgraded Sluggers in tier 2. Not one-on-one. Strike Squad do cost more, of course, but they are a support unit at the end of the day. They're decent in range, they've got good support abilities. You want to be using them in tandem with your Aversa Assassin. Or the control of the Purgation. But speaking of the Purgation, they're going to need to get that Beamer, because still the Death Dread is uncontested. And for some reason he is bashing with the Sluggers and not the Death Dread, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Operatives need to be pretty careful here. If they retreat incorrectly, they could really see themselves dying to this Death Dread. Commander Knob snipes one of their models there. Only 2 models left. I think he's being really careful about his position here for the retreat path. He's not retreating. What is he doing? He should definitely be retreating. This is way too risky. Wow, this is crazy risky. The Sluggers just need to attack the operatives. Fuck the bash, they can get it after. And he retreats them. Okay then. So for some reason, yeah, the Slugger Boys are going to engage the Aversa Assassin instead of the Purgation. That's a terrible idea because it means that they... nice force melee in the Purgation. It means that the Slugger Boys actually get suppressed and they're a mile away from the Purgation, so... not ideal. But at this point, because it took so long for Fufu to take out all these gens that Smith actually dropped, he's going to be able to field a Grey Knight Dreadnought, and I'll be interested to see what he goes for on it. I wonder if he'll go for the Melter Gun in order to try and snipe the Death Dread. Oh, they don't even get a shot off. How annoying. Oh, he might just go melee, because he obviously has a ranged option here with the Beamer now to take out the DD. But as I say, it's really immobile. It's hard, man. It's hard to get this set up in the right position to kill a DD, which has a reasonable amount of HP in all fairness, when the Weird Boy can knock him over with each shot from his attack, when Slugger Boys are going around, infiltrated all the time, threatening them. It's tough. But yeah, we're going to see the Dreadnought with the Claw, so that's okay. That helps him defend against Slugger Boys. So Slugger Boys are going to be a lot less threatening now against this. What's this? Mark Target Global. Right, okay. So that helps him see any infiltrated units that are going to be trying to flank the Purgation. I think he was worried that he was going to get the Beamer flanked there. Okay, this is going alright. What do we see on the Aversa? Nothing. What's happening here? Did the Commander not just stun himself with a stun bomb? Epic fail. What is that? I don't even know what this global is. What is that? What the actual fuck is that? Can someone please explain to me what that was? Because I don't know what that was. How weird. Anyway. Yeah, it looked like the Commander Nob kind of stunned himself there, so then the EAA actually managed to beat him, even though the EAA doesn't have any melee wargers. That was weird. Death Dread trying to take on the Grey Knight Dreadnought again, but this is really not a fight that it wants. It needs some AV support. Honestly, you could do with seeing some tank busters, I think. But Fufu's probably just going to try and tech up to tier 3 and ride out the game that way, but man, I don't think he can. I'm just looking at the VPs. 413 with a triple cap against 170. Fufu doesn't have time to be going tier 3 and relying on that. So yeah, we see some busters. I like that choice. Busters with the Slugger Boys to protect them from any other sort of ranged harassment, and then the DD to attack the Death Dread to attack the Grey Knight Dreadnought if the Grey Knight Dreadnought tries to tie up the tank busters. It should work out pretty well for them. I swear to God, operatives are going around with 2 models all the time. I don't know what's going on. I mean, they're trying to do some sort of pew-pew, nice smoke grenade to reduce the range of the Weird Boy, but there's only 2 models, so they're only doing half DPS, and against Sluggers with their Knob, who gives every boy in the squad a HP buff, as well as the Burners, which also give a HP buff, 2 shotguns just ain't gonna kill them very quick. So the EA is running into combat. He does have his Neuro Gauntlet at this point, but a beautiful Warp Vomit there from the... oh my god, that Weird Boy. A beautiful Warp Vomit from the Weird Boy, who keeps getting friendly attacks on the Slugger Boys, and it's not going to be a good situation for this Aversa Assassin. He would probably have been able to handle these Slugger Boys quite easily, were it not for the fact that he got Warp Vomited, so that was nice. Be interesting to see if the Neuro Gauntlet does actually pay off. One thing that he definitely should be doing when he's having long melee engagements with the Aversa Assassin versus Sluggers is make sure that he rotates the Aversa Assassin so that they're facing the Slugger Knob. That way you'll encourage the Aversa Assassin to target that knob and kill him first. He is, after all, the greatest source of DPS, as well as a massive source of HP to the rest of the boys, so he's definitely who you want to be taking out first. He's also by far the most expensive. But yeah, you can see the combination of the DD plus the tank busters is really threatening this Dreadnought now. DD is kind of overextending though, pushing really far forward, right into the Beamer, and the Dreadnought turns around to finish it off, and it looks like, ooh, one Weird Boy shot might save the Death Dread there. I don't know, the Death Dread is low. The Aversa Assassin can honestly put in a decent amount of work with his Neuro Gauntlet. Beamers and Sluggers both going to wipe here. Yeah, Sluggers are wiped. They actually do take down the Beamer before they perish, which is quite nice. Dreadnought could turn around now and actually finish off the Death Dread, while the Aversa ties up the Busters. Oh my god, look at the Aversa. Oh, he uses Psychon. Can he get one more hit? He'll wipe the squad. Looks like he's going to. He's got a crazy melee charge. Oh, he gets path fucked by the Death Dread. Very nice. Weird Boy just cancelled his shot in time as well. That would have done some big damage to the Death Dread. Would have probably took it out. But looks like the Aversa's actually going to take it out with an Hero Gauntlet. Nope, he's not. He was going to die in one more hit, so he runs away. Wow, this Death Dread is right on the edge of dying. This is crazy. I don't know what the Commando Knob was doing for those fights. He would have been really helpful in the fight to just use Tripper Shot to knock over that Eversa Assassin and stop him harassing so much. Oh, the Melter Bomb comes out from the Operatives and it actually is enough to snag the Death Dread. The Death Dread falls. Weird Boy is really low on HP. He has to back off. But Fufu's doing alright. I mean, he's dropping squads, which is not ideal. Losing the Sluggers in particular is slightly problematic. However, he does have the double cap now, and he's tier 3. To be honest, I'm not really confident though for Fufu. Mostly because of the lack of VPs that he's got. Knobs are great, and it's nice to replace your knobs with it's nice to replace your sluggers with some knobs. However, he's fighting 2 dreads, and honestly, out of everything that the knobs can be fighting, dreadnoughts is not what they want to be fighting, especially melee dreadnoughts. So I don't know, I feel like he needs another squad of tank busters and just keep the tank busters constantly with the knobs plus the Weird Boy. That's going to be a hard force to beat, and then have Slugger Boys and the Commando Knob going around trying to contest the contested VPs. Pretty good use of Operatives this game though. I do like the Operatives use. The only thing I'd question is them only having 2 models, it seems, most of the time. Because I just don't know if you get that much value for keeping them out in the field when they've only got 2 models. But yeah, SgtSmith's just on the VP game at this point, and I don't know if Fufu can do it. Maybe he can with the knobs. But like, the knobs are staring down a Grey Knight melee dreadnought. This is the most powerful melee walker that you can face in tier 2, and melee walkers quite soundly do counter knobs, so I don't know, man. It's all going to come down to support. If it's a one-on-one duel, then the dreadnought will eventually lose to the knobs, but not if it starts getting levels. And obviously the dreadnought doesn't bleed when it takes a fight against the knobs, but actually survives, whereas the knobs will start bleeding models and hurting your eco. So it's just not ideal. But if you've got double tank busters to back it up, then the tank busters will absolutely rip the dread to pieces. I would like to see another tank buster squad right now. He's going to call in commandos, I don't mind that. I forgot it was the commando knob, so he gets that as an option. Because I was thinking about the option of the commandos manually from the base, but it would have been too much requisition, really. Awkward. Is this double melee dreadnought? It is. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's awkward. Could do with war gear here for the Eversa Assassin in terms of the armor. What is this global? I don't know what that is. Or what is this effect? I really don't understand what it is. Strange. I was wondering if it was like an effect for hypermetabolism, but it doesn't seem like it is because he's not getting any regen. I tell you what, the commando knob could do with swapping out into the rocket launcher. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, that'll be a huge help. But you can see, nice special attack from the Grey Knight Dreadnought there. He's kind of handling the knobs fairly well. They do activate Frenzy now, which will do them nicely, but he saved the stun for when they activate Frenzy, so... yeah, now there's 2 Dreadnoughts attacking. This is just not ideal. Commando Knob's going to get some great work in, but... honestly, Commando Knob's looking in a bit of a scary spot right now. For some reason, Smith is actually focusing on the VPs rather than the Commando Knob, which I do have to question, because it means he's probably going to lose this Dreadnought now. Will one more hit kill it? No. I don't think one more hit would have killed it anyway, so that was a bit of an overcommitment. Oh my god, he actually... what? He wipes the commandos up at the VP, a bit of a micro fuck up there from Fufu. I was just saying, why the hell is he keeping the knobs in play, but he uses Call the Boys to fully reinforce the knobs. Eversa Assassin's hunting down this commando knob, looks like he's going to wipe him. Gonna get a wipe, there you go, commando knob's down. What's going on this side? Slugger Boys have been ambushed. Incendiary nades going on them, level 4 operatives are in play. Dreadnought is moving into retreat path. And he gets a sync kill. Skewers that Slugger Knob on that blade that he's got. Oh, this leaves Fufu in a really awkward position, and we see Purifiers as well. What the hell is this? Okay, let me tell you this. Purifiers plus the Grey Knight Dreadnought are gonna absolutely smash the Knobs. Knobs can't take this. And he's using Frenzy already! No, that was a terrible idea. He should have waited. Because now, yeah, he's stunned. Oh, no, terrible. And yeah, they're going to absolutely smash the Knobs. Once again, guys, Orc players rushing tier 3, going for them Knobs, and it just isn't paying off for them. I mean, look, I think it was definitely viable, but really... yeah, I don't know. The Death Dread should have been burning these gens way sooner than he was. There's no way SgtSmith should have been allowed to field 2 Dreadnoughts. You know, that's like 140 or 150 power per Dreadnought with the upgrade for the melee. Yeah, really expensive. But yes, a looted tank at that point would have been great, because obviously there's no AV on the field. Conversion Beam was hard to keep alive when you've got Sluggers can infiltrate. Combination of a looted tank plus the rocket launcher and the K-Nob probably would have dropped those Dreadnoughts quick time. So that would have been nice to see. Unfortunately, we don't see it in this matchup. But we do get to see an interesting set of builds from both players, and we get to see some Auto Malleus, even seeing some Purifiers at the end there. Didn't really see them go toe-to-toe with the Knobs. That would have been nice. I always like to see Auto Malleus Elite Melee trying to fight off other races' Elite Melee. But there you have it, a match between SgtSmith rocking the Auto Malleus and Fufu rocking the Orcs. Please don't send me any more chaos, guys. Please no more chaos. Just for a bit. Just for a month. No chaos, okay? Thanks for tuning in. Torpid out.